Yo, what's going on, guys? Gonna be showing you how to dominate on Poppy jungle. First things first, you're gonna want to get a ward down. It looks like our teammate already did that for us, which is fantastic. I can start with my bot lane. I could have actually warded the other side because of it. You shouldn't necessarily expect your teammates to do that though. It's kind of rare. You're gonna want blue smite refill. You don't really need red smite on Poppy. Poppy plays typically really well against AD champions. Especially things like Graves who have dashes, or even I think you can stop the Hecarim dash with your W, but basically you can cuck dashes and leaps with your W. You're gonna want to start Q and ideally just get a leash from your bot lane for the best leash possible. You're normally gonna do a 5 camp clear on Poppy, Q, and immediately auto attack. You're gonna want to pick up your shield. I actually picked it up like a quarter, not even a quarter, but like less than a quarter of a second late there. Otherwise I could have soaked 2 autos from the blue buff. Your Q does quite a bit of damage, and your passive shield by picking up that buckler will make you take a lot less. I'm gonna auto attack, stun him out of his next auto, Q him. Your Q has a pretty big hitbox, and it even goes technically behind Poppy a little bit, so even if someone's behind you, like right on top of you from behind, it'll still hit them. We're gonna go ahead and do wolves next for our level 3. We're just gonna auto attack, E, back up, hit him with a Q. You want to try to make sure you're hitting the full camp with your Q to maximize your clear speed and the heal you're getting from your jungle item. It's a pretty big AoE. It has the first part and the second part blow up, and it's a slow. Now that we have our W, we're going to use it just to get to the next side of our jungle. We should be able to solo Hecarim. You may be saying, why did you go Ignite? I want to guarantee my 1v1s. Hecarim can run Ignite, so if he were to take Ignite, he would beat me in 1v1s if I didn't have it. So I kind of took it out of necessity. Normally, you just go for flash on Poppy so you can make more plays. Poppy's ganks aren't bad, but they're also not good. Where she really shines is with her dive plays. I just picked up that perfectly. You can take 2 autos from red or blue buff if you pick up your buckler properly. But yeah, so with Poppy, her dives are fantastic, but generally her ganks themselves aren't amazing. Diving's good on her since she's fast, and she has a super reliable stun. So after your 5 camps, assuming you get a leash, you should be able to get to Scuttle Crab before it spawns in. We're here at 315. It spawns in right now. Should be able to fight the Hecarim. Auto attack Q. I don't think I need to flash. I mean, I don't think I need to ignite him. He needed to back off. He didn't respect my damage. If he runes on Poppy, you want the electrocute, sun, impact, eyeball with Relentless, river walking. And if you're going to go Ignite, then you're going to want Nimbus Cloak as well. I smited it while it was stunned, so it would do an extra 20% damage. I'm going to walk up, just try to hit him with my buckler, do a bit of damage to him. I'll help Zerath shove this. I want to go to the Scuttle Crab anyways, so that works out. Bot lane is actually diveable a little bit. Blitzcrank can be tough though. Ezreal's super low. That's the kind of thing you're looking for, just ramming them into turrets or walls. Same thing with the Scuttle. You want to hit it into a wall. Ooh. Yeah, I think Hecarim learned his lesson. Yeah, if you want to see the runes, level, order, items, everything all in one spot, go to the very start of the video. Poppy's actually pretty strong right now compared to where she's been at. Right now she's a top 15 jungle champion who counters dash champs, AD champions, or melee champs in general. She's pretty good against. Pushed him off. He's going to die if he steps up. I think he knows it too. I really want to get him into the wall. Auto attack E. I hit him with my Ignite. My E didn't quite push him into the wall. Your auto attack, especially when it's ranged on your passive, so whenever it ticks down, you throw your buckler at them, it has a bit of a delay. So as he was entering the bush, before he technically entered, I started the auto animation. And then right as he got into the bush, I tried to ram him into the wall, but just barely missed. Working pretty well though. Once again, melee champions, AD champions. Yeah, just mainly AD and physical champions in general. Poppy plays well against, and dives like this is perfect. Full HP, shove. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Shove. This is so free. Let's crank no hook. Why aren't we shoving though? I'm just going for it. So we did die there. We got executed. As you can see, the damage is super high. He died before it could even come out of our CC. It's just UW for the speed up. You E them, you auto attack, then you Q. Lots and lots of damage. Unfortunately, we weren't really in a hurry to shove the wave. It's just solo queue miscommunication, but overall, still a good play. They got 0 gold off of me since I got executed. I'll go ahead and pick up boots, and I can't really afford anything else, so I'll just leave base. My blue buff's up in 40. I'll do a full clear. Poppy, once again, 5 can't clear at the start. That way we can get to Scuttle on time. If you do a full clear, you won't be able to fight on Scuttle. So if you know you lose the Scuttle fight, because you're putting at something like 𝐒𝐿, who is ranged and AP, not great. And then you may just go for a 6 can't clear into gank instead. I'll pick up the buckle right as it goes to hit me. This is why Poppy really doesn't take that much damage from her camps. From the combination of her strong AoE on her Q, to being able to knock them out of their current auto attack with your E, to her shield on her passive, I'm basically full HP and still sitting on refills. Your R, you're normally just going to tap it for the damage. Tapping it for its damage is really good, and it's easier to land that way. They have less time to dodge it because it's so fast, and it also keeps them inside of your Q part 2, which is really nice. The only time you ever really want to charge your R to knock them away, since it always pushes them towards their side of the map, you only do that if you're trying to secure objective. If it's like a dragon or a baron fight, then you'll be securing the objective by knocking them away. That's pretty much it. Be careful about queuing and then Eing, unless you're doing it into a wall. So there, for example, since my Q was already placed, like where it was basically touching the wall, when I rammed the Gromp into the wall, the Q2 hit. So here's the Q1. There's Q2. If I would have E'd him in that part of the wall, then the Q2 would have missed, which would have been a big waste of damage. I didn't need to pick up the buckler that early. You can move out of its drop path if you want to be able to block both auto attacks. So I'll use my smite. I'm going to run bot. They're playing aggressive. I have river walking, so I'm pretty fast. I'm going to ignite him for Nimbus Cloak, E him. He's dead. I actually didn't even need her. That was basically a kill still, but it's whatever. Poppy does fall off, so your teammates getting the gold isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, Poppy's amazing for these dive type plays. If you have laners that you know are going to be pushing in, things like Aatrox, Dravens, any kind of lane bully champion, then Poppy is a decent option. Once again, her W, why it's in the circle, does block any dashes, which is really, really good against certain champions like 𝐒𝐿. Or even Kayn, it can be good against. Even though Red Kayn does counter Poppy, it'll cancel out the Red Kayn Q dash. Cuck him really hard. My E's on cooldown, which sucks. Nice, this Xerath is a monster. And no, I'm not duo. That Xerath is just really good, it seems. Well, Hecarim didn't really juke, but still, that was impressive. Very impressive. Xerath got red buff, so that means Hecarim already took his red. He's going to his blue side. I want this plate. I'm acting like I'm running away. Oh, I was hoping that minion would get it. Shit. It didn't quite. I didn't get the gold. Hecarim's probably going to come blue side next. I'm going to hit this, try to get it closer to the wall. And I'll E it. Auto attack. You normally want to weave in autos in between your Qs to get that extra bit of damage. Sunfire Aegis is your best option by far for your first item though. Hecarim's either AFK or he's on his wolves right now because he would have came from base. He's one or the other. He might have stunned him. Smite that. Speed up to try to stay on top of him. I could have used my R to try to knock him up, but you can't actually see Hecarim when he's on his R. Nice. Yeah, when Hecarim R and Malphite R, if they start it as you're CCing them, they can basically avoid the CC. They'll still get hit by the damage though. Can close distances on camps, just Eing it to start out with and then immediately queuing. That's how I got to the Gromp a bit faster since your E is it's almost like a Sivir auto attack in terms of range. It's probably around 500 distance. Not bad. You max your Q second, it gets higher in damage and stun and everything. Gonna auto attack E, Q R, he's dead. That's what your normal combo will look like when you're just trying to burst them down. Your R is really big AoE. Hecarim's really far behind. Even though I have gold for my full item and I haven't spent it, I could probably solo him. I assume he's coming up from golems because he would have left base and started a full clear. So he's either AFK or he's on golems. As Zeryl's under turret, this is dive. You ping your teammates to shove it in. You just ping it. They shove. All right, I think Hecarim's AFK. I think he had enough. Gonna run in W, E, Q, auto attack. Good stuff. Could stay and take that wave, but we'll just let them have it. Poppy's a really fun champion, man. I used to play a lot more of her back in earlier seasons. Like still after her rework primarily, but I used to play her more as a top laner. It is really fun to play her when she's viable as a jungler. And right now she's viable. I'd say at the very least she's low B tier, if not high B tier at the current moment. Now, if they... I ignited him, he's dead. Dude, every time I ignite somebody, I swear Sivir kills them with an auto attack. It's whatever though. I want to back and spend my gold. If they do gut Sunfire's Aegis, it's gonna hurt Poppy. To be fair, 𝐒𝐿 okay on her and Frostfire is okay on her. So even if they do truly gut Sunfire, which they already did nerf the Bomby Cinder, then you do still have these other two options. So I don't think she'll necessarily go anywhere unless they nerf her directly or several of her items. After you have your tier 2 boots, you normally want to go for Deadmans if possible. This is why I said Poppy plays really well against AD teams, since Deadman gives you a lot of armor and movement speed. Movement speed helps you land your wall stuns, run people down. They have Ezreal, Hecarim, that's 2 ADs. Malphite, 𝐒𝐿𝐈, and Blitzcrank are AP. So in this particular game, I probably should have gone Merc Treads into Deadmans. That way I had some armor and magic resist, but now I'll just be super armor overloaded. Make sure you do pay attention to your passive though. Understanding how long the animation takes for the ranged version versus the melee version is kind of important. And also, obviously the ranged version is this far. It's the same range as your E. That was weird. I'm gonna EM, Q, blue smite. I didn't even need to R. Since my electrocute was up, now it's on cooldown. Electrocute's like 40 seconds. Yeah, it's 25 to 20 seconds. I knew I probably didn't need to R him there. Now your R does have more range than your R has less range than your E and your ranged auto attack, but your R still has more range than your melee auto attack. So as they're running out of your range, you can smack them with your R, kind of like as an execute. Blue smite him. I have my Nimbus Cloak. I'm gonna R knock him up. Q. Nice. I could have maybe Q'd first, but I think my Q1 would have missed him because your R has more range than Q1. So I think I had to R then Q there. That's fine. I really want this. Nice. So at this point, you normally be taking Dragons and Heralds. Since they're all dead, we'll just take the turret. His Zoroark's low, so I'll stay. Otherwise, I'd run for a Herald. I'll help him with the minions. Yeah, you can pretty much one-shot them. Let me go take this guy's Wolves and push into Herald. Poppy plays really well with the new items, with the new tank items in particular. You don't necessarily want to go damage on her or lethality. Electrocute's more for the early and mid game on Poppy, since it obviously doesn't scale with HP. It doesn't scale with tank stats at all. It's for that early game burst, for scuttle fights, for ganks. Someone's over here. That's lame. I think it would be foolish for them to try to fight me, but if I can't 1v4 them right now. Ezreal has full item. Hecarim's close to full item. I think they should just let me take this so I can put them out of there. Put them out of their misery. Oh, there he is. And a W to close the distance. It's a relatively short speed up, but I need to get there fast. EQ, EQ, EQ. Auto attack. I ignited her there. That was an EQ auto attack. Ignite. I don't need to lay Herald on this turret. Oh my god, Urgot's gonna die. I didn't even realize he was tanking it. I don't think he realized it either. You can also go over walls with your E, like this. So if you need to escape from somebody and you have vision of a monster, oh god. Kind of just killed Lux a little bit. So if you need to escape, or if you're trying to stay on top of somebody, just remember that you can go over walls with it. Your R goes over walls too. Auto attack Q. Gonna R him, hold him still for the Zoroark. Nice, nice. And now we can lay our Herald. You normally want to have minion wave or like more teammates with you than this, but I can push them off. Yeah, 𝐒𝐂𝐈 can't do this. I won't let her. See how I knocked her with my thing? But it actually does damage to them, so when she bashed herself against my W aura, it did a little bit of damage, so the turret started aggroing me. So it's kind of lose-win situation there. Win-lose situation. That's fine though. The enemies are blocking off the Herald. I'm low and sitting on a crap load of gold, so I'm not really in a hurry to try to force anything. I actually want to back. I can get full Deadmans. That's a lot of armor. It's gonna help me against the turrets. You don't actually want Randuins typically, unless they have crit champs, and they have 0. So there's really no point. You normally just want to get Deadmans after Sunfire Aegis, if possible. Now, if they are really AP heavy, then obviously Merc treads over Steel Caps, and instead of Deadmans after Sunfire Aegis, because you're always going to go Sunfire Aegis for sidebound Poppy right now, like 9 out of 10 times. So if you do need to go an MR item, second item, it's normally going to be Spirit Visage or Force of Nature. Both are good options for Poppy. They're about equally good. The Abyssal Mask is also a reasonable option against AP teams. I am going to need to get an AP item. Probably get Force of Nature. Gives more magic resist. That's what I'll go for. I'm going to W to speed up to get in here. Smack him with an E. It didn't actually land. He died before it landed, unfortunately. So I didn't get assists. I'm going to try to wrap this game up. Try to wrap it up. That's the right thing to do, though. When it's this one-sided, you need to just put them out of their misery. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed this Poppy Jungle commentary guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't had a chance already, come check out the stream. Come chat and chill live. And I'll catch you guys next time.